Greetings. I was heading to bed and I saw a package on my front step and I had a heart attack because the package was from China. Look at that cute. Panda wraps their pre-production copies in Panda paper. And I, of course, put the meeples on top. The meeples and the bag. Whoops. Sorry, Mr. Underbutler. Are manufactured components. They don't come in the game. So this one, I'm remaining true to the unboxing spirit, and I'm pretty darn nervous. I have to open the pretty Panda paper, and let's take a look. We're gonna have to put our service staff off to the side there. Man, I am nervous. Whoa. Let's come out of your holder and take a look. Oh, that box is beautiful. The accent I chose, I don't know if you can see it for the box, is a background of 19th century handwritten letters. So if I put that on the shelf, I love it. That's great. Oh, the quality of that box. I'm so excited. The back is a work in progress, but you know what? It's not a bad work in progress. Son of a gun. I was really unhappy with this when I was working with the art. But man, I think we're close. I love that landscape taken from the main player board. Wow. All right, I gotta put you back in so I can open the box. This is really exciting. Excuse me, sorry I ruined you, Panda paper. That's the Wessex expansion off to the left. Wow. Okay. In my, I guess this manufactured component, so this was the solitaire dice. It's a royal blue, 20-sided dice. Very satisfactory there. This is the pad for scorekeeping. I like it. I'm not thrilled to death. We'll have to come back to that. Got cards. I'm going to set some cards out. There's the turn track. Wow. Wow, that's pretty. Man, the colors on that are fantastic. It's got that matte finish. Wow, I like that. Oh, holy crap. Oh my. Oh, wow. The quality on that thing's off the hook. I'm getting more and more excited. Cards we're going to come back to. This is a component I'll tell you about right now. Wow, I like the look. This is a component I'll tell you right now that I'm nervous about. I like the first look, but I had a debate with my pre-production guy on the exact width that would be appropriate for placing tiles underneath, and he recommended a slightly wider box. But that looks pretty good. I have to see how that lays out. Oh, player boards. Now, some of you might wonder why I did not round the corners. I can round the corners, but there was a real risk in rounding the corners in that one of the things I did, I made it so this wood matches perfectly, so anybody who wanted to stack their player board on top of their organizer, they would have a really nice look. And if it goes to the side, it also is going to match. So it took some juggling of the image for the background wood. And if I had curved corners, particularly on the tiles, you were going to have these gaps at all the corners. So I'm going to have to see how it is in gameplay, but that looks fantastic right now. Player boards are beautiful. Wow. Wow. Love it. All right, my first ever punch boards. Look at that. So each punch board, to give you an idea, I think I'm going to get you out of the holder here because I'm probably making you confused. So each punch board contained mostly a particular type of tile. Depending on the tile count, they would have maybe one or two of another type of tile that had a higher tile count, because we have 16 on a punch board. Then we have, oh, I gotta take a look. Pop my first thing. This is a 100-pound coin. Aha! I love it. It's an old Queen Elizabeth coin from mid-19th century, and I blotted out some of the telltale information just to make it a generic. That's nice. And then a 500-pound coin, which was also an old Queen Elizabeth coin. I'm trying to get out of the... See if you can see that. That one's less impressive. I might tweak that a little bit. It's got a horse on the background. That's the 500-pound coin. So there's the 100 and the $500 coin. Actually, my shadowing there, actually those are pretty nice. So, so each punch board, like there's the service punch board. Now the service tiles is the fewest tiles. And get over to the prestige punch board. And the most tiles belong to the estate punch board and the sporting punch board. So I'm going to put you back in as we start to pop. I might even scoot you in a little bit here. I'm gonna toss. Now well, that's a surprise. I'm not going to tell you that. So we have our coins. These are the tiles that are used for reputation. I changed the font from a handwritten font to the Garamond bolded. So that's going to be a new look that we're going to try. So let me punch out my... I don't want to rip anything. So like there's the largest, whoop, I bumped. There's the largest wine cellar. I had, well, what am I looking at there? Man, I need my glasses. Before I go any further, I do want to talk about people who've helped me on various projects associated with the game. And Chad Bardo is a friend of mine who's an expert with Adobe products like Photoshop and Illustrator. And it was his recommendation to extend the image to the frame and clean up the lines. And he did that artwork, or gave me good guidance on that artwork, and I like that look a lot. Let's take a look at the gargoyles. I had to change the gargoyles because the old gargoyles were didn't have an image that filled the frame. So that's great looking. I'm excited. I'm not going to punch all these out here live. I'm going to probably punch them and come back at you. But and again, these are squared off in order to fit under the, and you know what? I think the recommendation from my pre-production guy, J.F. Gagne, looks to be very reliable. Yeah, I'm excited to see that under there. But before I go any further, I do want to thank some people, and one is David Buckland, who has been working with me. These folks I met on the Kickstarter page of Board Game Geek when there was recommendations from everybody that I needed to update the artwork. So I reached out to people that had some expertise. Oh my. Oh my. Whoops, sorry to keep bumping you. But David Buckland has got some expertise as it relates to the proper titles and British history. Martin Joines has also been an Englishman who is helping me with some of that background. Oh, wow. The feel on these cards is fantastic. Mariah Mesherikova, I hope I got her name right, was helpful with the graphic design, as was, and I hope I get her name right, Marichelle Edwards or Marisol Edwards. I dealt with everybody on email, so I never talked to people live. But all those folks, very helpful in making the game come to life, taking it to the next level as far as the graphic design. The Gentry cards are exquisite. That 310 grams per square meter black core card has got to feel like I'm playing Baccarat at the Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas. Pop open this deck too. Wow. Wow. Just gorgeous. You'll see a couple of take a look at the family card. There's some changes here. You've got a purple frame. You've got the letter P for Ponsonby above their crest, which matches the board. I tried to clarify the iconography. There's a Cavendish. There's York. And then I think we saw it in the other one for the Fairchild love interest. They have a blue frame up top. They actually have their name Fairchild inside their crest. Cards look beautiful. I'm going to try to wrap this up, and we're going to come back for some gameplay for a closer look. But I want to look at the objective cards. I really spent a lot of time on the look of the objective card. Understand that the artwork for the meeples is going to replace these sort of profiles. But just to give you an idea, it's intended to be clearer. Sporting bonus, 1 victory point per tile. Gives you some reference information as far as the number of available bonus points. The groups are clearer. Beautiful. There's a monument bonus. It tells you how many monuments are in play for the different player numbers. Love it. Love it. I think the objective cards are perfect. Here's the thing I've got the biggest concern about, I struggled the most with. And that is that I found for the small cards, I created this frame out of Wimbledon purple. And the idea was on the turn track was to match. And some of these are victory point cards, and some of these are theme cards. And the theme cards have in the frame the picture of the Victorian couple. Victory points have that. You turn that over. My concern is that this bright purple and white really wouldn't match all that well the victory points on the other side. Going to have to see how that plays out. The same was true of the theme cards, which I greatly simplified and got rid of most of the words. I don't know if the backs match the front. We're going to have to play with that and find out. That one the jury's out on. So let's pop open the Wessex expansion. Here's the, I'm going to bring you out. There's the Wessex expansion. Also uses the written letters. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with this. It has the Wessex player board, and it has the deck. Some of the items in the Wessex expansion is that I added a couple extra guests. And I added solitaire cards that play extended play. Obviously, extended play, the scores are going to be higher. I actually played a ton of solitaire games in a row and recorded my totals and used them in these cards. So I can attest that they're actual real world. I used some English houses: Lancaster, Plantagenet, Orange, Tudor, Grosvenor. Anyway, I'm excited. I'll tell you what, it's a big mess right here. I'm going to clean it up and set it up on the table and be back at you.